Welcome to the ninth session on moment distribution method and myself Vahini M of GBC Haveri. So in the last session we have discussed about how to analyze sway frames. That means a general sway frame. So in the sway frame we have to analyze once for the applied loading, that is non-sway analysis, and another one time for the sway force, that is delta. Okay, so now that in the last session we have considered a general sway frame. Okay, in this session we will consider a purely sway frame, a pure sway frame. Okay, so let us analyze this frame using moment distribution method. Okay, so this type of frame is called as a pure sway frame. Why it is called as a pure sway means, so none of the members, either A, B, BC or CD, they are not subjected to any member loads. Okay, only it is subjected to a lateral force which is acting at the joint. Okay, so this is a nodal load. Okay, so since it is not subjected to any member loads, so fixed end moments for all the members will be 0. Okay, so therefore only it is subjected to sway only. So therefore this type of structure is a pure sway frame. Okay, so in the non-sway analysis, first let us find out the distribution factors. So joint B and C are the intermediate joints. Okay, so here for B we have member BA and BC. So BC is an intermediate span, so therefore the relative stiffness will be I by L, and for member BA, A is the far end which is a fixed end, therefore relative stiffness for BA is also I by L. When you consider joint C, CB and CD are the members meeting at joint C. Okay, so CB, because it's an intermediate member, I by L is the relative stiffness, and for CD the far end D is a hinge, therefore the relative stiffness will be 3/4 of I by L. Okay, so now let us go for the calculation of distribution factors. So the first column is joint, member, relative stiffness, total stiffness and distribution factors. So which is the ratio of relative stiffness of the member to total stiffness of the joint. So first let us consider joint B. So member coming under joint B is member BA. So relative stiffness for BA is I by L. So which is equal to 2I by 6, where 2I is the moment of inertia for member BA and the span of BA is 6 meters. So therefore the relative stiffness is 0.33I. Next, for BC member, relative stiffness is I by L only, which is equal to 1I by 4. Again it will be equal to 0.25I. So the total stiffness will be 0.58I. So distribution factor for BA is 0.33I divided by 0.58I, that will be equal to 0.57, and distribution factor for BC will be 0.25I divided by 0.58I, that will be equal to 0.43. So now let us consider joint C. So for CB member we have relative stiffness as I by L only, which is equal to I by 4, and in turn it is equal to 0.25I. Next we will take up member CD. So the relative stiffness is 3/4 of I by L. Why? Because the far end D is a hinge. Okay, so let us substitute the values. 3/4 of I in this case is 1.5I. Okay, and length is 4 meters. So if you calculate it, it will be 0.28I. So the total stiffness at joint C is 0.25I plus 0.28I, that will be equal to 0.53I. So now the distribution factor for CB is the ratio of 0.25I divided by 0.53I, that will be equal to 0.47, and that for CD it is 0.28I divided by 0.53I, that will be equal to 0.53. So if you add the distribution factors at each joint, they should be equal to 1. Okay, so next we'll go for the non-sway analysis. Okay, so since none of the members are subjected to any member loading, okay, member loading means the load which are acting on the members. Okay, so because AB, BC or CD, they are not subjected to any member loads, therefore fixed end moments MFAB, MFBA, MFBC, MFCB, MFCD and MFDC, they are all equal to 0. Okay, so since the fixed end moments are 0, okay, so the non-sway moments will be also equal to 0. Okay, so now we will go for the sway force calculation. Okay, so since the non-sway moments are 0, so the reactions also will be 0. Okay, so directly we can take the horizontal force which is acting, okay, which is that is 80 kilonewton. So that itself is the actual sway force. So this is the force, the horizontal force acting at joint B. So that force is causing the frame to sway towards right. Okay, so therefore the direction is of this sway force is towards right. Therefore the delta value should be whether negative or positive, it should be positive. Okay, if the sway force is acting in opposite direction, you should take delta as negative. Okay, so this is the direction here. In this case it is in the positive direction, so therefore we have to take delta as positive. Okay, so next we will go for the part B, that is sway analysis. So in this, let us find the fixed end moments. So since the far end A is fixed, okay, so before that we will calculate it for the horizontal member. So we know that in sway analysis the horizontal members are not subjected to any displacements, therefore the fixed end moments for MFBC and CB will be always equal to 0. Okay, so now let us calculate it for the vertical members. So MFAB and MFBA is equal to minus 6 EI delta by L square. Okay, so if you substitute the values here, so let us take I as I1 and L as L1. So let us substitute the values here. I is 2I and length is 6 meters. So 6E into 2I delta by 6 square. So if you simplify it, it will be 12 EI delta by 36. Okay, 12 EI delta by 36. Next we will calculate it for CD, MFCD and MFDC. Again it is equal to minus 6 EI delta by L square. So let us substitute the values of I and L. So 6E and I value is 1.5 I here and length is 4 meters. So if you simplify it, it will be minus 9 EI delta by 16. Okay, so here since we have taken delta as positive, these are negatives only, so the moments will be in negative. If the sway is towards left, okay, so we have to consider delta as negative delta, then the sway moments, these moments will be positive, minus into minus becomes plus. Okay, so that you have to keep it in mind. If the frame has a tendency to sway towards left, you have to take these fixed end moments as positive. Okay, if the frame has a tendency to sway towards right, so then these sway moments, fixed end moments for sway will be negative. Okay, because delta is positive, so plus into minus is minus only, and if the frame is having a tendency to sway towards left, minus into minus becomes plus. Okay, so now to eliminate this delta, okay, so let us take the ratios of MFBA to MFCD. So that will be equal to minus 12 EI delta by 36, that whole thing divided by minus 9 EI delta by 16. So if you rearrange it, it will be minus 12 EI delta by 36 into 16 divided by minus EI delta. So EI delta will get cancelled. Okay, so if you simplify it, it will be minus 16 by minus 27. If you simplify it, this is the minus 16 by minus 27. So therefore MFAB and MFBA will be equal to minus 16 kilonewton meter, and MFCD and MFDC, that will be equal to minus 27 kilonewton meter. So let us substitute these values in the distribution. Okay. So next is distribution of moments, that is we'll distribute the moments, these assumed sway moments. Okay. So it is as usual distributed in the form of a table. So the first row is the joints of the structure. The different joints are A, B, C and D. And in second row we'll have the members at each joint. Under A we have member AB. Under B, BA and BC are the members. Under C we have member CB and CD. And for D we have member DC. Okay, so the third row is distribution factors. Distribution factor for BA is 0.57, for BC 0.43, for CB 0.47, for CD 0.53, and that okay, so these are the distribution factors. So next, in the next row we will write the assumed sway fixed end moments for sway. Okay, so MFAB is minus 16, MFBA is also minus 16, BC 0, CB 0, because BC is the horizontal member, so therefore it is not subjected to any displacement, therefore BC is, and for member BC and CB it is 0. For CD it is minus 27, and that for DC it is minus 27. So next, first we will balance the extreme joint. So if you have a look at end A, it's a fixed end. Okay, so no need to balance the fixed end. Okay, and end D is a hinge, so we have to balance the end D first. Okay, so first let us balance joint D. So we know that because it's a hinge, the final moment is, it should be 0. So to make it as 0, we will apply a moment of plus 27. Okay, so that the DC will be 0. So as soon as you apply a moment at D, some portion of moment will be carried from DC to CD. How much it will be carried? Half of 27 will be carried to CD. So that is 13.5. Half of 27 is 13.5. Okay, so now at this point we will make a total. So whenever the extreme joints are either a simple end, a roller or a hinge, or an overhanging portion is given, in all those cases you have to make a total at this joint, at this junction. Okay, so that the extreme supports are balanced first. Okay, so MFAB, it remains 16 minus 16, BC 0, CB 0, and CD minus 27 plus 13.5 is minus 13.5, and for DC minus 27 plus 27 is 0. Okay, so now let us balance the intermediate joints now. Okay, so joint B is imbalanced by minus 16 because it is 0. Okay, so therefore the balancing moment will be plus 16. So plus 16 into 0.57, that will be equal to 9.12, and 16 into 0.43, that will be equal to 6.88. Joint C is imbalanced by minus 13.5, therefore balancing moment will be plus 13.5. So plus 13.5 into 0.47, that will be equal to 6.345, and 13.5 into 0.53, that will be equal to 7.155. Okay, so now as soon as you balance joint B and C by applying plus 16 and plus 13.5, so some moments will be carried to the far ends, therefore the next step is carrying over. So the moment is carried from BA to AB. So half of 9.12 will be 4.56. Next, from BC to CB, moment will be carried from BC to CB. Half of 6.88, it will be equal to 3.44. Next, moment from CB to BC, it will be carried from CB to BC. Half of 6.345 will be equal to 3.172. And now what the usual mistake students will do is, again you will take a carry from 7.115 to from CD to DC. Okay, so that you should not do because D is a hinge, it will not take any moment. Okay, so now this is the only carryovers. Okay, so next go for balancing. So next step is balancing. Joint B is imbalanced by 3.172, therefore balancing moment will be minus 3.172. So minus 3.172 into 0.57 will be equal to minus 1.808. Minus 3.172 into 0.43 will be equal to minus 1.364. Okay. So next, joint C is imbalanced by 3.44, therefore balancing moment will be minus 3.44. So minus 3.44 into 0.47 will be equal to minus 1.617. Minus 3.44 into 0.53 will be equal to minus 1.823. So next, the step is carrying over from BA to AB. Half of minus 1.808, that will be equal to minus 0.904, and from BC to CB, half of minus 1.364 will be equal to minus 0.682. From CB to BC, half of minus 1.617 will be equal to minus 0.808. Okay. So let us carry this last row in further in the next slide. So this last row is carried here along with the distribution factors. So next is balancing. So joint B is imbalanced by minus 0.808, therefore balancing moment will be plus 0.808. So 0.808 into 0.57 will be equal to 0.46, and 0.808 into 0.43 will be equal to 0.347. Joint C is imbalanced by minus 0.682, therefore balancing moment will be plus 0.682. So 0.682 into 0.47 will be equal to 0.32, and 0.682 into 0.53 will be equal to 0.36. Next, go for one more cycle of carrying over and balancing. So moment is carried from BA to AB. Half of 0.46 will be equal to 0.23. From BC to CB, half of 0.347 will be equal to 0.173. And from CB to BC, half of 0.32 will be equal to 0.16. So next, we'll balance the joints B and C. Joint B is imbalanced by 0.16, therefore balancing moment will be minus 0.16. So minus 0.16 into 0.57 will be equal to minus 0.091. Minus 0.16 into 0.43 will be equal to minus 0.068. Next, imbalancing moment at C is 0.173, therefore balancing moment will be minus 0.173. So minus 0.173 into 0.47 will be equal to minus 0.81, and minus 0.173 into 0.53 will be equal to minus 0.091. Okay, so now we'll go for the calculation of sway moments. Okay, so here you have to add all the values from the total row. Okay, because we have made an intermediate totaling, so at the intermediate junction, so you have to add all the values in under each column from the total, not from the fixed end moment. Okay, so from the total we have to add all the distributed moments to get the sway moments. Okay, so for AB it is minus 12.11, for BA it is minus 8.32, for CB plus 8.32, for BC it is plus 8.32, for CB 7.9, and for CD minus 7.9, and for DC it is 0. Okay, so these are the sway moments using which we will calculate the sway force. So in the next slide we are going to calculate the sway force here. So let us consider the vertical member AB along with the assumed sway moments here. Okay, so let us assume the direction of horizontal force HA like this and apply sigma MB is equal to 0. So that implies HA, this is inducing clockwise moment about B, therefore HA into 6, and then this anti-clockwise moment of minus 8.32 and this anti-clockwise moment of minus 12.11. So HA into 6 minus 8.32 minus 12.11 equal to 0. That will induce a horizontal reaction of 3.4 kilonewton. Okay. Next we will consider the vertical member CD. Okay. So let this be the direction of HD, and moment at D is 0 and moment at C is minus 7.9. Okay. Now let us take moment about C and equate it to 0, which implies HD into 4 minus 7.9 equals 0. That gives a HD value of 1.97. Okay. So now let us find the apply the sway force. Let us find the sway force as the summation of HA plus HD. So that will be equal to 3.4 plus 1.79. Therefore sway force S dash is equal to 5.37 kilonewton. So the sway force assumed for the assumed fixed end moments, so we have obtained a sway force of 5.37. But what is the actual sway force? Actual sway force is 80 kilonewton. Okay, so therefore we have to apply a correction factor. So the correction factor is calculated as the ratio of actual sway force S to assumed sway force S dash. Okay, so S divided by S dash. So let us substitute the values of S and S dash. So that gives S is 80 and S dash is 5.37. Therefore 80 divided by 5.37, that will be equal to a correction factor of 14.89. So you have to apply a correction factor of 14.89. For what we have to apply this? We have to apply this correction factor for sway moments. Okay, so next slide will calculate the final moments. Okay, so to calculate the final moments, first we will calculate the corrected sway moments, which is calculated by multiplying correction factor with the assumed sway moments. Okay, so whatever we have obtained in part B, the sway moments, that those are assumed. Okay, so therefore let us multiply with 14.89, the correction factor. Okay, so these are the moments which are obtained, sway moments which are obtained for the assumed fixed end moments under sway. Okay, so let us apply this correction factor. So corrected sway moments are obtained by multiplying 14.89 into minus 12.11. Therefore MAB is minus 180.31. 14.89 into minus 8.32, that will be equal to minus 123.88. So 14.89 into plus 8.32, that will be equal to plus 123.88. 14.89 into 7.9, that will be equal to 117.63. and for CD minus 117.63, and for DC it is 0. Okay, so anyhow we know that the non-sway moments are 0. So AB 0, BA 0, CB, CD and DC, they are all 0. Okay, so whatever the corrected sway moments are, that itself is the final moments. Okay, so MAB is minus 180.31, MBA minus 123.88, MBC plus 123.88, MCB 117.63, MCD minus 117.63 and MDC is 0. Okay, so these are the final moments using which we'll find the reactions to plot SFD and BMD. So let us find the support reactions. First consider the horizontal member. So this is the horizontal member. Okay, RB and RC be the reactions at B and C along with the end moments of MBC as 123.88 and MCB as 117.63. So let us apply sigma Fy equals 0. So since no vertical loads are acting, RB plus RC should be equal to 0. So let's take a moment of all the forces about B and equate it to 0. So minus RC, because it is inducing anti-clockwise moment about B, so minus RC into 4 plus this is clockwise couple on clockwise moment of 123.88 and again this is clockwise couple of 117.63. Therefore minus RC into 4 plus 123.88 plus 117.63, that is equal to 0, which gives a value of RC as 60.37 kilonewton. Therefore what should be the value of RB? It should be equal to minus 60.37 kilonewton, because RB plus RC should be equal to 0. Okay, so next we will consider the vertical member AB. So this is the vertical member AB along with the reactive components as HA and VA and the end moments of MAB and MBA. So let us apply sigma Fy equals 0, which gives minus VA plus RB equals 0. Therefore VA equals RB equals 60.37 kilonewton. Okay. So you can look here. So here RB is negative, that means it is acting in the downward direction. Okay. So therefore in the next slide it is assumed in the opposite direction. Okay. So therefore that gives a value of reaction at A as it is also in the downward direction. Okay. 60.37 kilonewton. Okay. Next, take moment about B and equate it to 0. That gives HA into 6 minus 123.88 minus 180.31, that is equal to 0, which gives a value of HA as 50.69 kilonewton. Next, let us consider CD member. So this is the direction of VD and HD and the end moments. Let us apply sigma Fy equals 0, which gives VD minus RC equals 0. Therefore that gives VD as 60.37 kilonewton. Next, let us apply sigma MC equals 0. That gives HD into 4, and there will not be any moment at D because it's a hinge. Okay, therefore it's 0. And then minus 117.63. Therefore HD will be 29.4 kilonewton. Okay, so these are the reactions for the given structure. Okay, so let us apply, this is the given frame. Okay, and these are the horizontal reactions, so this should have been HD. Okay, so if you apply sigma Fx equals 0, so that gives HA, sorry, 80, this is acting in positive x direction, so plus 80 minus HA minus HD is equal to 0. So that gives 80 minus of 50.69, HA is 50.69 and HD is 29.4, so that will be equal to 0. Okay, so therefore whatever we have calculated, it is right. Okay, so this is the cross check you can make. Okay, so if you have obtained this as not equal to 0, when you apply sigma Fx for the entire frame after calculating the final reactions, you should get it as 0. If you are not getting it as 0, then it is sure that you have made some mistakes somewhere in the problem. Okay, so you have to check it once again, so to rectify the error. Okay, so now let us plot the shear force diagram. So to draw the shear force diagram, this is the base given structure. Let us consider the different elements along with the reactive components. Okay, so first, to draw the shear force diagram, consider the baseline as similar to that of the given frame. Okay, so first let us draw it for the horizontal member. So shear force to the left of B is 0. Right of B, we have a downward force of 60.37. So mark it below the baseline for 60.37. And then till left of C, after right of B to left of C, we don't have any force, therefore shear force variation will be constant. Okay, and then shear force to the right of C, we have an upward force of 60.37, therefore minus 60.37 plus 60.37, it will be 0. Okay, so now we will plot the shear force diagram for the vertical members. So to draw the shear force diagram for the vertical member, as discussed in the earlier sessions, so this 80 kilonewton, we have this horizontal force of 80 kilonewton at joint B. So let us split this 80 kilonewton into one force of 50.69, a reaction of same magnitude as that of the reactions. Okay, 50.69 and another force of 20.4. So if you add these two, you will get 80. Okay, so this 80 is replaced with 50.69 and 29.4 kilonewton. Okay, so now if you consider this 50.69 and this horizontal reaction HA, okay, so these two are equal, opposite and parallel forces, okay. So these two are inducing what type of couple? They are inducing clockwise couple. They are inducing clockwise couple. Therefore, the shear force is positive shear force of magnitude 50.69. So mark it towards right side of the vertical member, okay. Similarly for member CD, so these two forces, this 29.4 and this reaction HD, so these two are also inducing clockwise couple. Therefore, the shear force is positive for CD member. Therefore, mark it towards right side of the vertical member. This is for 29.4 kilonewton. So this is the shear force diagram, and these two are positive and this one is negative, okay. So this is the shear force diagram for the given frame. Next, we'll plot the bending moment diagram and elastic curve. So to draw the bending moment diagram, consider the basic given structure and along with the elements with end moments, okay. Use the thumb rules to draw the support moment diagram. So to draw the bending moment diagram, consider the baseline, okay. So first let us draw it for the horizontal member. So the thumb, the direction of thumb is moving in the downward direction. So mark it below this baseline for 123. So mark it here 123, okay, 0.88. So this is 123.88, okay. Next, at C, this moment, the direction of thumb is towards upward of BC member. So mark it above this baseline for 117.63. 117.63. Now we will join these 2 points, okay. So that is the support moment diagram for BC member. So next, let us draw it for the vertical member AB. So at A, we have this force. So the direction of thumb is towards left side of the vertical member. Therefore, mark it towards left side of this vertical member for 180.31, okay. Next, at B, the direction of thumb is indicating towards right side of the vertical member, okay. So mark it towards the right side here, okay, for 123.88, okay. So now you join these 2 points. So this is the support moment diagram for AB member. So next we will draw it for CD member. At D it is 0 and at C the direction is showing that the thumb is moving towards right side of the CD member. So mark it towards right side here, okay. So now you join from 117 to 0, okay. So that is the support moment diagram for CD member, okay. So this entire is the support moment diagram for the given frame, okay. So now to superimpose it with the free bending moment diagram, so neither AB, BC nor CD, they are subjected to any member loads. Therefore, the support of free bending moment diagram will not exist for any of the members. So free bending moment diagram is drawn only for the member loads. So since in this frame, so there are no member loads are acting on any of the member, therefore there will not be any free bending moment diagram. So therefore the support moment diagram itself will be the free bending moment, support moment diagram itself will be the final bending moment diagram. So this is the final bending moment diagram for the given frame, okay. So now to draw the elastic curve, this is the hinge and this is the fixed end, okay. So to draw the elastic curve, it takes the same shape as that of the bending moment diagram. So we know that this is the force which is causing the sway towards right side of the frame, towards right side. Therefore, let us draw the variation of elastic curve like this, okay. So because it's a fixed end, so it will be straight for some portion and then it deviates towards right side. The top of the vertical member will be displaced in the lateral direction towards right side, and similar to C also, C displaces in the lateral direction towards right side, and D, because it's a hinge, it should join like this. If you draw a tangent at D, there must exist some slope, whereas if you draw a tangent at this point, you should not have any slope because it's a fixed end. Okay, so this is the variation of elastic curve. Okay, that's it for today's session and also for the moment distribution method. So in these 9 sessions we have discussed about how to analyze continuous beams with fixed ends, continuous beams with simple ends or simply supported ends, continuous beams with overhanging supports, continuous beams with sinking supports, and analysis of non-sway frames with the unsymmetrical non-sway frame and symmetrical non-sway frame, and we have analyzed sway frame, general sway frame and pure sway frame. Okay, so we have analyzed all types of problems, okay, which covers your entire syllabus. Okay, so that is for this moment distribution method and for today's session as well. Okay, so that completes the moment distribution method. Thank you.